Let's go Dolphins! What if I told you that everything we thought we knew about the future of the Miami Dolphins might be a complete illusion? That the man who leads this team, the quarterback we defend, whom we trust and around whom we built the team, might be the very reason this franchise isn't going anywhere? The rumors are getting louder. The players know it. The coaches feel it. And the fans? You're starting to notice too. The question no one wanted to ask is finally echoing through South Florida. Is Tua Tagovailoa hindering the team? Before revealing what's really happening behind the scenes, before we analyze the numbers, the cold weather collapse, and what Mike McDaniel refuses to admit, stop for a moment. If you're a true Miami Dolphins fan and bleed blue and orange like me, click the like button right now and comment, "Go Dolphins!" We deserve the truth, because what I'm about to show you might forever change your view of this team. Ready? Let's go. Now let's get into it. The Dolphins just suffered an embarrassing loss that turned into a referendum on Tua Tagovailoa's future as Miami's quarterback. For all the numbers on the stat sheet, 250 yards, 22 of 28, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, a QB rating over 110, they masked the brutal truth. Tua was a non-factor when it truly mattered. He was ineffective for 3 full quarters, and the game was well out of hand before any of those stats started to stack up. Down 28-3 in the fourth quarter, he finished with decent numbers, but those were padded in pure garbage time. This wasn't a comeback attempt. It was window dressing. And what's even worse, Tua is now 0-6 in games where the temperature is under 40 degrees. In fact, even when it's between 51 to 55 degrees, a temperature most would call perfect football weather, he's just 2-5. He has simply not shown he can win when the stakes are high and the weather gets cold, which is exactly the scenario this team will face in the playoffs. No matter how warm Miami is in December, the path to the Super Bowl goes through cold cities like Buffalo, Baltimore, or Kansas City. And it's not just about the weather. The core issue is that Tua isn't scaring anyone downfield. Defensive coordinators know exactly how to play Miami now. Stack the box to stop the run and sit on everything underneath. No one fears Tua pushing the ball 10-plus yards with consistency or velocity. Even with weapons like Jalen Waddle and Darren Waller, guys who can stretch the field, defenses aren't respecting the deep game. And that's a problem that starts with the quarterback. Against Pittsburgh, the Dolphins were held to negative 20 yards in the third quarter. Let that sink in. Negative yardage. With that much offensive firepower. The reason? The Steelers dared Tua to beat them deep, and he couldn't. Miami didn't even pass 100 total yards as a team until the fourth quarter had already started. And when you're losing by 25 and your QB is laughing on the sideline with 2 minutes left, what kind of message does that send to the locker room and the fans? Mike McDaniel said it would be rash and short-sighted to consider benching Tua right now. But if that's rash, then maybe it's exactly the kind of jolt this organization needs. Because let's be honest, Miami is not winning because of Tua. They're winning in spite of him, and only against weak opponents. The Jets, Commanders, Saints, and Falcons. The only real impressive win? That weird one against Buffalo. But let's look at the numbers. When Devin Achane gets 20-plus touches, Miami is 5-0. When he gets 19 or fewer, 1-8. This team rides on the back of the run game, not Tua. And that brings us to something fans are starting to whisper, and now scream, online, bench Tua. Start rookie QB Quinn Ewers. Give the kid a shot. We already know Zach Wilson won't be here next year. So what do you lose by seeing what the 7th-round pick from Texas has to offer? The Bengals have a weak defense. The Patriots and Buccaneers are both fighting for playoff spots. Let's find out what Quinn has under the hood in 3 high-pressure games. If he shines, then maybe you have a legit QB competition in 2026. If not, at least you tried something different and didn't just stick with the status quo out of fear or loyalty. Right now, the biggest problem isn't just Tua's play. It's that the coaching staff seems unwilling to accept that a change is needed. The hip injury Tua suffered at the end of last year might have been the final blow. His accuracy, once elite, has completely fallen off. He's throwing flat-footed. His lower body mechanics are shot. The interception against the Steelers? A 5-yard underthrow on what could have been a big play to Waddle. His body opened up too soon. No torque, no hip movement, no drive. That's not just poor decision-making. That's a broken foundation. So what are we really seeing with Tua? No arm strength, no out-of-structure playmaking, no mobility, and worst of all, no signs that any of those things are getting better. He's a quarterback being paid $54 million a year through 2026 who offers none of the traits elite teams build around. He's a QB you can't count on when it matters most, and that's the death sentence in the NFL. Because here's the thing, if you don't at least try Quinn Ewers in these final 3 games, you're not just sticking with a failing formula, you're actively wasting the final evaluation window of your season. This is your opportunity to see if there's even a flicker of potential in the kid from Texas. Does he have the arm strength, the mobility, the pocket awareness that's been sorely lacking from Tua? You won't know unless he's on the field, and frankly, there's nothing left to lose. The organization is already backed into a corner with Tua's contract. Playing him in meaningless late-season games only increases the risk of injury, which would guarantee his salary for next year and make it exponentially harder to move on in the offseason. If you're serious about exploring trade options, preserving flexibility, or just protecting your cap space, then it's time to put him on the bench, for his sake and the team's. What makes this even more frustrating is that Miami is still in the playoff hunt. Despite all the disappointment, all the underwhelming play, this team is talented enough to win games, but only if the coaching staff has the guts to make real adjustments. Mcdaniel has proven he can scheme an elite run game. He's built a top-tier rushing attack around the chain, Mostert, and the zone blocking system. He has the tools, but he's shackled to a quarterback who can't take advantage of the mismatches his system creates. And then there's the locker room. Do you think those guys, Waddle, Waller, Armstead, Hill, if healthy, don't see what's happening? Do you think they haven't noticed how limited this offense becomes when teams take away the flats and short curls? These are professional athletes who know exactly what winning football looks like, and they're watching their window slowly close because of one position that's no longer pulling its weight. Now, the idea that Mcdaniel could be on the hot seat might sound extreme to some, but let's be real. This is year 3. 2 straight seasons ending in collapses. No wins in meaningful late-season games. No signature victories on the road in tough conditions. If this was New York, Chicago, or Dallas, the pressure would already be unbearable. The only thing that might save him is giving the fan base and the front office hope that change is possible. And the only way to show that is to start that change now. Start Quinn. Let him play against Cincinnati, a team with a porous defense that has been exposed repeatedly. Let's see if he can do what Tua can't. Hit the deep ball, keep defenses honest, extend a play outside the pocket. Then let him face the Patriots and Buccaneers, 2 squads still fighting for something. If he's overwhelmed, you know where you stand. If he shows poise and flashes of playmaking, then you have a reason to believe 2026 won't be a complete rebuild. This also puts pressure on the front office to stop coddling its own mistakes. The Dolphins can't afford to keep riding this wave of mediocrity, betting on potential that hasn't been fulfilled in years. They've assembled one of the fastest, most talented rosters in football, but if the guy under center can't maximize it, the window slams shut fast. And based on what we're seeing, Tua is holding it shut with both hands. And look, none of this is personal. Everyone wanted to believe in Tua. The comeback story, the elite processing, the quick release precision. But that version of Tua doesn't exist anymore. He's broken mechanically, unsure mentally, and physically limited. You can't scheme around that forever. The league figures you out. Defenses adjust. And right now, the Dolphins have no answer to that adjustment. The saddest part? The Dolphins could still win a playoff game with the right tweaks. This isn't a teardown. It's a recalibration. A strong rushing attack, a dangerous group of receivers, and a defense that has shown it can dominate when asked. But until you find the right quarterback, it's like trying to drive a Ferrari with a busted transmission. So, what now? Will Mike McDaniel be bold enough to pull the plug on the Tua experiment? Will the front office accept that loyalty and sunk cost can't dictate personnel decisions? Will fans keep showing up, buying jerseys, screaming fins up every Sunday knowing deep down this team isn't being led by a quarterback who can win in January? That's the question hanging over Miami's future. And time's running out. If you want more raw, unfiltered breakdowns like this one, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button if you want to see real change in Miami. Check out the other videos on the screen and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Go Dolphins, we can get to the Super Bowl, but only if we make the right moves now.